Welcome to the second edition of Travel Truths. Today in the hot seat we have Sharon Anderson from the Pacific Asia Travel Association, otherwise known as PATA UK and Ireland. So Sharon's worked in the travel and tourism industry for the past 5 years. She specialises in B2B and B2C event planning and destination marketing. And she's worked with clients both large and small all around the world, including New Zealand, America and the UK. And her current position at PATA UK and Ireland involves all kinds of day-to-day administrative and financial management, all the important stuff, plus the organisation of 20 plus annual events across the UK and Ireland, the biggest of which is Taste of PATA, which is a fantastic event which over 300 travel agents attend. It's one of my favourite events of the calendar actually, because it involves two of my favourite things, which is food and travel. She also organises the PATA Exchange and lots of other events, so that keeps her busy. So welcome, Sharon, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No worries. And where are you at the moment? How are you?
So I'm currently in London, but I'm sure from the sound of my accent you guys can tell I'm usually from down under.
Oh!
So yeah, just here in London, working from home, getting used to it now, actually, starting to get into the swing of the slow-paced life, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it? It's you've got to think about how you fill your days and make sure that you've getting up at the same time, and it's difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of yoga. Food is like massive now. Thinking about cook, but yeah.
Very important food. And what are you doing? Obviously you're still working, and are you still planning for future events? Obviously events are on hold at the moment, but what's going on with that for the future?
So we are currently putting together some plans for some virtual events. So our first events were actually supposed to be coming up in a few months. Our regional quiz nights are really popular with the agents. So we're just thinking of ways to turn that into a kind of virtual format. We've also got our B2B road shows. So we'll be looking at turning those into a virtual concept as well. So that's what the plans. And we're still connecting with agents through our social media channels. We're continuing to post educational content, inspirational content across those, so Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. If you're not following it, it's at PATA UK and Ireland.
Sure, okay. And it's important to keep people's inspiration levels up, I guess, isn't it? Have you what kind of things have you been posting then? Have you been posting sort of virtual travel experiences in the region and things like that?
Yeah, so we've just been, partnering up with our members, sharing some of their content. So masterclasses for cooking, which is massive now, virtual tours of hotels and resorts, as well as museums and key products. And then, some really nice wellbeing workout videos, which I'm sure lots of people are getting into now. So those are the kind of things, really light-hearted content.
Fantastic. And there's lots of obviously the region is so rich in so many different cuisines, isn't it? And I guess a lot of thinking Thai massage, and there's lots to come for the sort of wellness arena there, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. A few little facial routines and that sort of stuff. So
okay, sounds fantastic. Well, let's get started on your travel truths then. So just for people that didn't tune in to the last travel truths, the idea is just to ask for people's 7 travel truths. So it's related to people's personal travel experiences and kind of how they've shaped them and their careers. So the first question, you'll have to cast your mind back for this one, is what is your earliest memory of travelling?
yeah, I was thinking about this one. I guess as a kid, I was really fortunate to be able to travel to places like the Philippines. I'm actually half Filipino. My mum's from there, so we got to travel there quite a lot. And then off the back of that, we'd often visit Thailand in conjunction. So I think my first travel memory would have to be riding a baby elephant when I was a kid. and just thinking like, oh my gosh, these things are actually prickly and not soft and furry like I thought. So I think that's my first travel memory when I was a kid, I think about 5 years old. So
Oh, and that was in Thailand, was it?
yeah, in Thailand. So yeah.
And whereabouts are your family in the Philippines? Are they all over the islands, or?
They're based in La Union. So I haven't been able to get out there recently. The last time I travelled out there was when I was about 12 years ago. So definitely on the list to go see again once all of this is over.
Yeah, definitely. I was really surprised when I was in the Philippines by how amazing people's English was. I think they have 90% literacy in English in the Philippines. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, so handy when you're traveling and you can actually have a conversation.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. So for the next question, is there a place or I guess a travel experience that you've had or that you had in the past that made you think, that's it, I want to work in travel, that's my future?
Yeah, so I initially started a events management degree. About a year into it, my friends in the degree found this internship with Walt Disney World in Florida and thought, oh, let's take a year off and go work over there and travel to the States. And I thought, yeah, I love traveling, like let's do it, good excuse to travel. But it wasn't until I actually got there and immersed in all the cultures, got to meet everybody traveling and have conversations with them that I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to work in this industry. So came back home to New Zealand and decided to do a double major in tourism management and events. So here I am today.
Okay, so and did you work at Disney World?
Yeah, worked in Disney World. My life for about a year was all Star Wars. So yeah, doing the lightsabers, and it was when the new movie had come out, so it was quite cool.
And were you fully in character as one of the Star Wars characters, or?
No, I wasn't fully in character. I was working in one of the Star Wars merchandise stores, but we got to be involved with the movie premiere. People came in after dark around the park and got to do like Jedi training, and yeah, it was a really cool experience. Definitely one of those things that cemented my place in this industry, that I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And Disney, I imagine, is obviously it must be a fantastic place to work, but I bet it's a very well-oiled machine and they really know how to do
Yeah,
tourism, don't they? Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
A good start. Okay. So is there a place in the world that you always like to return to again and again? Is there a sort of a favorite place?
So actually, my partner and I, we always travel to a place thinking we would might not have the opportunity to come back. So we actually don't like going to a destination twice, unless there's friends or family there, or a specific reason. We like to discover new places because there's just so many places in the world, right? And working in travel, especially in Parta, learning about all the destinations in the Pacific Asia that I haven't even heard of or been near. I'm kind of like, okay, my bucket list is so long. I'm like, I can't go to a country twice, even though I love it. I want to go explore new places. So there's not really anywhere that I return to over and over again. But in saying that, if there was one place that I would go back to again, it would probably be Japan. I absolutely loved it there. I'm into really wacky experiences, so we were doing like go-karting on the streets of Tokyo, dressed up as Mario, like Mario Kart video games, sumo wrestling and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that country's really cool.
Okay, so it was the kind of the wackier sides to Japan that drew you in, and the sort of all the anime figures and the sort of the alternative culture, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely those unique experiences which I'm into. More of those adventurous sort of things as well.
So if you went back to Japan tomorrow, where would your first place be that you would want to go?
I don't think I've got a specific place, but what I would do next time if I had to go back is to go in cherry blossom season. We went, I think, towards the end of April and we just missed it. And from what I saw, I could imagine that it would be super beautiful during the cherry blossom season. So that's what I would do, go see the cherry blossom season.
So I guess you've probably just about missed that for a year, haven't you? So you'll have to,
yeah.
well, you'll have to wait till next year anyway, but yeah. Okay. So next question. Is there a destination that really surprised you, and that can be in a good or a bad way?
So for me, I absolutely hate traveling in the winter. I'm a summer girl. I love the heat. I'll go to places where it's like peak summer temperature because I love it. But my partner, he loves the winter holidays. So totally out of my comfort zone. We went to Norway earlier this year in January and it was absolutely freezing, but totally surprised me in a good way. I loved it. Probably one of my top countries that I've been to. Just the experiences that we had during the winter time, like dog sledding, snowmobiling. We saw the Northern Lights that you wouldn't really be able to see during those really summer hot months. Was amazing. I've got some photos actually. I don't know if you can see. So that's us dog sledding. And these were the Northern Lights that we were able to see.
Wow, you're very lucky to see them, aren't you? Because not everyone gets that chance.
Yeah, so we had a really good evening actually. It was one of those wow moments where it just kept on coming, and yeah, so glad we got to experience that.
And was it just the green colour? Because I always wonder in the photos it always looks green, but then I've heard that it can be so many different colours when you actually see it.
Yeah, it was like this. Well, at one point it was like a bolt in the sky and it was like all these different colours, like purpley. It was hard to capture because this was just taken on a GoPro. But I think if you had a professional camera, you'd be able to get it. But yeah, it was amazing. And we saw it dancing, which I've heard some people don't often see as well. So yeah, again, really lucky.
Oh, I'm very jealous of that. So are you planning another winter trip then, or are you back to summer trips again?
Back to summer trips. So I was just like after that, because last summer we spent our time in Iceland. So I'm kind of like, I need a beach getaway, like no more winter.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're going to move on to, as I said, one of my favourite subjects next to travel, which is food. Is there a meal which was so delicious that you would jump on a plane or a train right now just to taste it again?
Okay, so I've got two.
Okay.
The first one would have to be in Vietnam, the spring rolls. I don't know if you've ever had the spring rolls in Vietnam, but oh my gosh, they're so good. They're always like the entree to our meal. We'll have a couple of them every time we have a meal in Vietnam. That's all we were searching for. And then the second thing would have to be the sushi in Japan. We went to a fish market one morning in Japan and they sliced the salmon right there fresh, and oh my gosh, best sushi. I think I've got another photo.
Oh yeah, that looked like you're enjoying that. Have you got takeaway in the bag there as well?
Yeah, that was for later. It was so good. I had to go back and get some more, but yeah, really good. Those two foods, and yeah, would go back to both those countries just to have more spring rolls and sushi.
Yeah, I have to say I've always thought I don't dislike sushi, but I don't rave about it like some people do. I always think of it as more of a snack than a main meal, if that makes sense. I don't know, that's probably reflective of how greedy I am. But yeah, when I actually tasted it in Japan, I changed my mind. It's quite amazing there.
Yeah, you need to go to those restaurants where it's like the sushi trains and you just stack up your plates of all the sushi that you ate. It's yeah, really good.
Is there a particular book, film, or a TV series which has inspired you to travel or is inspiring you right now to book a trip?
So we actually just binge watched the first season of Race Around the World. We actually didn't know it was a thing because I think it's a British show, right? We've watched The Amazing Race and all that, but found the concept of Race Around the World really cool. So the first season was from London to Singapore, traveling all by like boat and train and bus, but no flights. Which is, I've always wanted to travel, but it's just inspired me into traveling in a different way. So we're often quite fast travelers. As you know, we like to go one place once. So we'll try pack in as much as we can in the time that we're there. So we often don't really take our time to see those kind of more hidden gems, off the beaten track kind of items. So definitely once this is all over, we want to, do some more slow travel, do some more trains, see more of, the countries that we wouldn't typically spend time in because we were often in a rush. So, yeah.
So more kind of travelling through a destination rather than just travelling to it, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something I regret when we were moving over here to the UK and doing our Europe travels beforehand. We were flying between countries, and Europe's so great with all the connectivity with the trains and the buses. I wish we kind of did that more. So, yeah.
So, that takes us onto the final question then, which is, what is your dream holiday which you're planning for when this is all over and we can leave our houses and get on a plane or a train or a car or whatever and travel where we want to?
Yes, I think for me, probably I've got a massive list of places I want to go, but I think just reconnecting back with friends and family back home would be nice. So going back home to New Zealand, and yeah, along the way, hitting spots like India. I've always really wanted to go there. Again, the food and the culture has always been a big pulling point for me. So yeah, and we collect these pins from every country that we go to. It's a lot of like Europe and that base because of that's what we've got at the moment. But looking forward to traveling different places, getting more pins, filling up the cork board. But yeah, our team and members at Parter, we've actually just launched this new initiative, so Stay Home, Travel Later. We've all got photos of ourselves at home in our work from home areas, and then an image of a place that we're dreaming of going to, what's on our travel later list, our bucket lists, and yeah, that's on our social media channels. And if you guys want to share your travel later list with us, please share your photos. It'd be great.
And tell us where home is in New Zealand then.
So home for me is the Bay of Plenty, and so the Mount Maunganui beach and the Bay of Plenty is actually the #1 beach in New Zealand. So I am missing the beach. It has been hard being over in the UK. I feel like I've never been this pale in my whole life. Been trying to suntan with all the sun that's out, but yeah.
Oh well, I'm sure you'll get back there soon. It's difficult being away from family, isn't it? But at least we've got the technology to be able to see into each other's living rooms and speak to each other.
It's every weekend. It's literally just been a Zoom quiz between our families. But thank God for technology.
And so, when is the first Zoom Parter quiz that can we expect?
Stay tuned. We will be releasing that at the end of the month, so hopefully within the next month or so.
Okay, great. Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing your travel truths with us. And
no worries.
Yeah, take care and keep smiling, and we look forward to the quiz.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.